What is up, everybody? We are at Bridgeport, Texas.
That's a lot of sky.
It is. It is. And I am very bright. Bree is still a little in the dark because the sun has not shifted yet. We got a guest.
There we go.
We have a guest driver with us as well today. We're starting them younger
guest
and younger.
Commentator. We've got Collier Hoback sitting in here. His dad, Justin Hoback, is going to be starting off the UTV stock class for us today. So Collier's hanging out with us so he can watch Daddy race. But welcome to Hillside Live 2022, everybody. It is good to be back. We missed everybody and everything during the off season. We are at Endeavor Bridgeport Adventure Park in Bridgeport, Texas, for CRRS #1, kicking off the season. And this weekend is presented by VisoneRV, so big shout out to them and all our sponsors as usual. We had a little bit of a delay getting started. You might notice it's a little later than we usually start, and it's kind of a funny, kind of a sad story.
Interesting.
Okay, there's a lot of rocks around here, and Zach Garner decided to take a little cliff jumping expedition off of a 25-foot tall rocky ledge.
Head first.
There was an ambulance involved. Zach's okay. He was still being a smart aleck. He drove himself to the hospital.
Yes, he was very ornery, and that's how he knew he's going to be just fine. Got a little cut on his forehead, so how he dove 20 feet straight down and has just a little cut was like, I'm fine. You know,
I don't know. Only Zach.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of excitement to start off the day, and so we got that taken care of. We got Zach taken care of, and we are ready to race now. So thanks for bearing with us, everybody.
And he still wanted to do the live stream with us, and I was like, well, let's get it checked out.
I'm like, Zach, go have your concussion somewhere right now.
This is Justin Hoback we have sitting online. This is the course #1.
All right, this is – hey, Collier, that's Daddy. Who is that? What's he driving? What's he driving?
More rocks.
The blue buggy. Collier has been so excited. I rode out here with Justin and Collier, and Collier has been so excited about the blue buggy racing. So this is our UTV stock class. Thanks for joining us this weekend, guys. We're in Bridgeport, Texas. Everyone always asks me where that is. I think we're about an hour from the Dallas area.
Close to
Don't ask me what direction.
Close to Dallas-Fort Worth area. What's up, Josh Maple, tuning in, sending us some stars. Curtis Hazard jumping in there. What's up, Curtis? Jake Christensen.
Andy Chapman, yes. Zach, poor Zach, he will definitely be feeling it tomorrow. We're just glad it wasn't worse than it was, and he was able to get up and
make jokes,
more or less walk away from it.
Make jokes on the way out. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Brian Dunnigan said it's much warmer here in Daytona. I'm like,
oh, that's where you are. That's not right. We'll cut you some slack this time, Bryant.
And here we are through the rock garden.
All right, so we had to cancel last year's event here at Bridgeport because of the ice storms.
Yes.
You really never know what you're going to get this time of year weather-wise here in Texas, I guess. So we are excited to be back on the big hills here at Bridgeport. And, of course, with our UTV racing, we usually utilize what we kind of call the rock garden area out here. You can see Justin Hoback in that four-seater weaving his way through all the orange tape out here. Tomorrow, of course, we will be on the big hills that you will certainly recognize if you've ever been out here or watched the video from this park. And that'll be with the bouncers and UTV Bounty tomorrow. But today we've got our UTV stock class, UTV Cup class, and we also have the new for this season Venn class,
which we're super excited about. We'll talk a little bit more about that once it comes up. James Cantrell just hopped in and said, I'm excited to watch that class, and I am as well. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Clyde said he's definitely excited too.
It is.
Hey, Collier,
heck yeah.
Say something to Daddy.
Making it through the finish line.
Say, good job, Daddy. 130.345.
With a 130.345.
Getting rocking the full body out there. Having an awesome course.
Full body four-seater.
Yes, four-seater.
Next on the line, we have Mr.
Got some race line wheels on there. Yeah, I think he's our only four-seater today running in the stock class.
Hey, those four-seaters are so much more capable than one would think, and I speak from experience.
Oh, yeah.
Our own Big Booty Judy.
Big Booty Judy out there.
She had a hard time or a hard life last year,
did.
and I took her out to haul some hay to my horses the other day, and everything's just like clunking and grinding, and I'm like, oh no.
But you guys, to be fair, put a lot of hours of abuse in a very short window of time.
We did.
Like
So they're pretty fun.
that's like 3 years on the farm put in like within an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Justin, why don't you come up here for a second and tell us about that course since you were the first one out there today. Collier was very excited to see the blue buggy out there.
All right. Well,
Hey, Taylor.
A little wore out.
very rough.
Yeah. It looks pretty
You wanna-
violent. Tell us a little bit about how it felt.
Very rough, very hard to breathe. Right off that first hill, I must have hit the shifter or something and knocked it into neutral.
Oh, no.
And got it back in gear and got back going, but very, very rough.
Yeah.
Very little smooth parts.
Very little smooth
There's a lot
parts.
of rocks out here.
I say I had kind of a little gauntlet of rocks you're coming through, and you can see the side by side trashing pretty good. So
Yeah. It's a lot like, reminds me of King of the Hammer. So it's
kind of climbs called like a mini King of Hammers through that gauntlet. Just you got basketball size to washing machine size rocks, and since they're all piled up in a big lineup, it's such a nice climb. We were saying I wish we could get the bouncers over here because that'd be a lot of fun to watch some of the bouncers go through there. I think there's some guys that hit it pretty hard too.
Yeah. It's really a matter of picking the smaller rocks the whole way.
Yeah. And again, we're running a four-seater full body. It's kind of impressive. I think you're only four-seater running today.
Yeah. I thought it would do pretty good with the 35s and these big rocks and the long wheelbase. When I went off the big cliff over there, it felt like it stood up pretty good.
It's a pretty long drop.
That's the first time I've ever had the four-seater stand straight up.
Straight up? Yeah.
But,
Yeah, you want to be definitely on the throttle at that point.
yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go find some water.
All right.
All right. Hey, tell us one more thing. We're going to have another hoeback racing tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that just real quick?
My daughter Clara's racing in the youth class.
That'll
So,
be awesome.
Yeah.
So the UTV youth class is also a new class we've added for this season. We talked about the Venn class a little bit. So we've got a couple new things, trying to get as many people that want to race involved as possible. So Clara is 6
She's 6.
years old, and she's racing a 170 or a 200.
Yeah.
Which
So
would be a
we're-
lot of fun. Great to see kids getting out there and having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Right. She's very excited about it.
I know Justin Wills, his daughter, has raced a few times and just had a blast doing it. So,
Yeah, we're going to keep this one.
All right, sorry for the delay, folks. We are back up and running. And here we go, Mr. Jay Storks.
All right, Jay Stewart's
This
second
is Jay's
one
first
off the
year
line
to be
for our
racing
UTV
the
stock class. This is
stock
our Rock
class.
Life Off-Road
He's one of our
UTV
big
stock
bouncer
class.
drivers.
This is
So
Jay's
if you like
first
the action
time
today, come back
racing in
tomorrow.
the UTV
Yes.
class. Normally
He'll
we
be
see
driving
him
Ford
in a
play
big bouncer in Ford
the
play.
bouncer class.
But yeah, he said, well, I'm here on Fridays anyway, and he
Jay's
likes
making his way up
getting out and
the,
thrashing
rock
the
ledge
razors
through the
around.
rock
So
life
he said, why not? I might as well
off-road
jump in on the stock
flags
class.
over to the ledge.
Trip pulling. So that long bed's on
This
point.
ledge is a
Get
bit
that
right.
double cab long bed.
Changed his mind. He's
Sarah
now doing
Sorensen
it.
in, tuning in.
And we're gonna
What's
go
up?
back.
Miss
Yep,
seeing you guys
there
out
we
here.
go.
There was that
Tape
big
mix.
drop-off that we were talking about that Jay just went
And
down.
here we go through the straightaway.
Jay, of course,
This is just a
part of the
blazing
Perryville
straightaway.
Mafia,
Oh, yeah.
as we like to call them. We've got quite a
Yeah,
few
Bob.
drivers and their families and friends that they bring out to represent at the races.
Janet Browder tuning in, part of that Browder crew, watching from Tennessee. So we got quite a few places tuning in with us today. Ryan Buckley, I know he's a hometown Decatur, Illinois guy. Watching him jump in. Kelsey Storts,
Jay's making
let's
his
go,
way through
Dad.
the
Heck
garden up
yeah.
the top.
That's right.
Once he gets out of this, we'll go directly through the
Alex
red
Plunkett
race
tuning
line
in.
flags over to Zach's Cove.
And just like Justin was telling us, we're used to seeing the vehicles out here when they're racing just zipping around, full speed, flying through. This is not the kind of course that you do that in. It's rough and rocky, right, Justin?
Right, you'll end up smoking a rock.
Get your teeth knocked around a little bit if you go too hard in there. So if you guys are just joining us,
Here we go.
You are watching
just came up
the
from Zach's
season
landing
opener,
over to the Zach's
CRRS
Cliff.
#1 here we're in
We're going through the
Bridgeport,
Ricky
Texas.
Thompson
It's the
Tire
Northwest OHV
flag
Park at
around
Endeavor.
the corner And back
adventure
down.
in Bridgeport. We've got several new classes that we're debuting for this season, including the Venn class, which we're going to see today, the UTV youth class, which will be tomorrow, and then we have also separated the RC group into a metal and plastic class. So those are some of the changes that we've made for this season.
There we go, out
there
the
goes
top.
Jay.
That's a little bit of a bumpy ride.
Okay, and that's 2 for 2 finishing so far with our stock class.
Jay ran a 148.683.
148.683 for Jay.
On hill number 1.
Matt, what was Justin's time? I didn't get that recorded.
Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
130.345.
Give me 1 second. I'll get it pulled up for you here.
I think I just heard Cheryl say it.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that fast.
She has our leaderboard with us as well, and she's definitely going to help keep us on track.
Cheryl Davis is out there filling in for Zach on the microphone today. If you missed at the very beginning of the show when we started, we were explaining why we're starting a little later than usual. Our fearless MC Zach Garner took a little tumble off one of the cliffs here and forgot he didn't have his parachute with him.
Yes.
And caught himself with his head.
Yeah.
So
doing fine. Just
he's okay.
Little scrape.
More or less, but we did take the time to get him checked out with the ambulance and had a little excitement there. But Zach is tough. Anybody that knows him knows he's pretty hard-headed.
Yeah,
And he was being just as sassy, out there by the ambulance as he ever is.
Oh, he was,
I think he's all right.
He said, I'm
Although
fine.
I did say he'd have to be unconscious to not be sassy.
He's like, I'm fine. I landed on my face, guys. Yeah. Solid.
Where's the problem?
Yeah.
All right, next on the line we have Daniel Heckley. He's also out of
Daniel Heckley coming up.
Speaking of our Parable Mafia and new to the the UTV class, Daniel Heckley, we're also used to seeing him in a big bouncer.
Yes, we did.
What you looking for?
And he is
you might recognize him from driving Smoked Out.
This is his
You're going to see him in a brand new to him rock bouncer tomorrow. But he is, just like Jay, jumping in with the UTV class, said, I'm here on Fridays anyway.
Might as
I
well.
like driving
and
playing around in the UTVs. Might as well.
I have said this privately, and I'm going to say it publicly.
Oh, boy.
I think he will be the driver to watch this year. He has always driven very, very hard. He's always been pretty competitive, somewhat competitive in the top 3, top 5. He has a buggy that won a championship last season.
He's got one of those, what are they? Them Tim Cameron buggies or something? They're supposed to be pretty good.
That'll taste like chassis.
They're supposed to make it do all right out here.
Yeah, as my London counterpart kind of would say, was chassis. Chassis. He has one of those Tim Cameron chassis. Shout out to Ben Napier. It's obviously, I think that him in that buggy could be lethal this season.
Yeah.
So it'll
be fun to watch.
I'm really excited to see what he does.
We've got a whole lot of, when we're coming off the off season and we're just starting into our new season for the year, there's a whole lot of just buggy swapping, I think, and of course building new ones. So we're going to see a lot of drivers and new to them rock bouncers this year. And
a lot of changes. I know some guys made upgrades this off season. A lot of interesting things happening. I've seen Timmy went to obviously a new chassis, but he also went to a leading arm back to he had tried that before. Now he has those Brannick leading arms and trailing arms. So being at King Hammers a few weeks ago, I saw a lot of guys went to that all aluminum trailing arm. Brannick started making a ton of them. He has some on his car that he's ran for about 6 years. They're a little shorter. A lot of those guys have a much shorter, shorter than Tim Cameron. His is 62 inches. A lot of those guys are 48-inch trailing arm. But again, super beefy, all aluminum, a little lightweight. I think you're going to see some of those aluminum parts slowly working your way in to help keep things light. We saw Larry Krogh and Jake Pike bring lighter buggies in and do very well. I think you're going to see buggies evolve into being lighter and faster compared to the old ways of just big, beefy, heavy.
Right.
Well,
and the technology as far as parts has progressed to where now you don't need heavy to equal strength anymore, or not the way that it used to be. So that's going to be fun to watch tomorrow and the rest of this season, of course. Daniel Heckley is still working his way through that. He just passed around that giant mud puddle that's out there. I know they had a lot of rain yesterday. I'm not sure if the prior days before that too, but yesterday for sure was windy and rainy, and I'm so glad it's sunny here today at Bridgeport. Yeah, that 163.172. I couldn't tell about that.
Mr. comes in with the fastest time of the day.
Ooh.
123.1.
I don't know if you broke something or not.
Sorry, my bad. 163. That's the slowest time of the day.
Cheryl.
What did she say?
3.172, which currently
Can you guys watch it online, hear Cheryl over the speaker?
She messed up reading the time.
Because I can hear Cheryl, and
it's comical.
It's cute. Trey says Cheryl's going to need some more sarcasm and rudeness if she's going to fill in for Zach. But
I'm sure.
I don't think anybody can
keep up.
Can do Zach the way Zach can. So
yeah.
Probably not even worth trying. We're glad to have glad to have her volunteering on the microphone out there for everybody that is out here in person, wanting to know the times and wanting to stay updated on everything. So.
And she knows all the drivers, all the buggies, everybody. So
Cheryl showed up with her own spreadsheet for
she
all the
did.
drivers and classes.
Pre-made,
Guys, I don't
ready
even
to
have
go.
a spreadsheet. I'm still rocking the note. Matt's got a spreadsheet. We got our bases covered here between the two of us.
And we have some cool stuff that we're going to talk about a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. It's not 100% done yet. We have a spreadsheet. We put all the points on, what your times are, that we're going to be able to actually post on the screen later this season so that our online viewers can also see that top 10.
Yeah.
It'll only display the top 10, so the first 10 drivers obviously will all be on there. And then as drivers race, it knocks guys down. So you'll see that animation, and you'll see that top 10 on the screen that we'll be able to throw up there so you guys can see it as well as – because I know we get a lot of questions about, hey, what was so-and-so's time? Or who's the top 3? Who's the top 5? Now you guys will be able to see that periodically why the race is actually going on. So that's one thing we'll be working in through the season. We have some new upgrades. Finally, thank Jesus, we got a new satellite that we don't have to go on and actually manually set them up. We just hit a button, boop, and
I don't think most people
up.
realize what exactly went into setting up 3 satellite dishes and not only physically putting them up there, but then configuring them with
dialing them all in.
App magic that Clyde had. It was something.
It was like setting up a satellite dish in the 80s. You had to go outside and like wiggle it, make sure it was like pointed just right. You had to watch your monitor and see how many megs you were getting at a certain speed.
It was a lot.
And we had to do that 3 times. And then we couldn't move the trailer. So like today we have our trailer sitting right next to our course for our side-by-side tonight. We'll basically shut the trailer down, hook the truck up to it, boop, hit a button, 4 minutes, takes the power of the satellite down, drive it over and set it on the other over across there. Again, hit the button, boop.
Tomorrow.
So not only does the satellite power out, it also automatically finds the satellite up in the air. It's so awesome. I cannot. Our dish is like, it's heaven sent. It saves me so much thinking time. Yeah, Taylor's like, I agree. I feel you. I feel your pain.
We're on to bigger and better things here in the production trailer. We're trying to make the show as informative for you guys, like having that leaderboard that Matt was talking about on there, and as professional as possible with the technology. There's some new stuff that Clyde's still learning that we'll be implementing later on in the season. We wanted to be able to incorporate it as smoothly as possible, so not bringing that out just yet. But Paul says, where are you? Paul, we're in Bridgeport, Texas, kicking off CRRS #1, so race #1 for the Central Series and for the 2022 season overall.
Texas is kind of the central United States, so that's a good fitting race, central. We got a race for revisions later on this season. That's Oklahoma. That's still kind of in the center of the United States,
I mean, it's not called Mid-America for nothing,
true.
I guess.
True, yeah.
I wish it was called Eastern America.
Yeah.
A little closer to Tennessee.
Yeah. And Illinois. Like,
It's a long drive.
That 8.5-hour drive.
All right, here we go.
Brandon Davis is on the line. Brandon Davis, not so much.
Not so much.
Mr. Consistency has been racing. And then, of course, his wife Cheryl is on the microphone right now, helping keep everybody informed, all our spectators that are out here in person. So Brandon is going to be racing the UTV, the Rock Life Off-Road UTV Stock Class, the RCV UTV Cup Class, and the Brannick Motorsports Bouncer Class.
Got Paul.
He did last season.
I'll say Paul's tuning in from Scunthorpe, UK.
What was that?
He's from UK. Let's just say that.
Scunthorpe? I don't know.
Yeah, tomato,
From the UK.
UK.
Glad to have you watching, Paul.
It's so cool to see where all the people tune in. I always love asking that questions, especially when you see other countries tuning in, because it's neat to see, well, I just got up, or I'm just going to bed, or I'm standing up late to watch you guys, so that's always super cool. Again, today we'll be doing side-by-sides and in the Venn class, which we already touched on, and then tomorrow we'll be doing big bouncers and RC class. which would be a lot of fun. We got some RC guys here.
We also have the UTV youth class tomorrow,
which would be a lot of fun.
And UTV Bounty.
Okay, Bounty.
We've got a whole lot going on.
We do. Tomorrow will be a long day. It'll be a good time. Get Brandon out there making quick work of that course. That is actually a super rough section, and he just smoked it. Like, people don't realize how rough that section is. You literally just thrashed there. Again, it's basically just about a 30-foot wide, 40-foot wide area that's about a quarter of a mile long, and it's basketball size to washing machine size rocks. So the buggy kind of just pinballs through, and he is absolutely smoking this course. That's got to be our new leader right there. That black and orange, Brandon Davis racing there.
And he's out with a smoking fast time of
119.771. That is our fastest time so far for the UTV stock class. Brandon representing with the Can-Am today.
What was Holback's time?
Justin was a 130.
Okay.
.345.
Daniel was in 4, and I only have 4 times, so that's your top 4 instead of your top 5.
So right now it's Brandon Davis, followed by Justin Hoback, Jay Stortz, and Daniel Heckley. We should still have 2 drivers left to go. We've got Dan Carter on the line. Dan also no stranger to the UTV classes.
Dan the Man Carter.
Tyler Heinzel, glad to hear from you. We were wondering about what your status was right now.
How does it make you feel?
All right, Danger Dan. Representing for Rock Life Off-Road. This is the Rock Life UTV stock class. Sounds like Bryant's on vacation somewhere right now.
3 years now. It's one of our very
It's been longer than
been there a hot minute.
Dan is a staple in our UTV stock class, UTV Cup class, and UTV Bounty. And I do believe that he is racing for Cooper Bentley's points today in the Cup class.
Mr. Dan Carter over the ledge.
Again, Dan goes out there, races.
Oh, there's a big walk down right there.
And what's awesome, I've seen Dan, I've come to races and seen him race stock, Unlimited Cup, and then Bounty the next day. Like, just crushing it, you know. Again, he had a first place finish last season, about halfway through the season. And Dan never has major mechanical issues. It's always something weird in mind. Like, the fuel pump relay went bad. Like, who? Like, how can you even check that? You know, it's not like you're going out and, like, you know, testing relays. Like, wow, that relay is not working as fast as it should. I'm going to replace that. You know, it's always kind of weird stuff that you don't really think about, you know. So he's a pretty consistent driver. Again, like I said, he won first place about halfway through the season last year. Runs a full body as well as a buggy.
It looks like he did have he had to back up there. I think maybe he missed the turn on the course. He was across the way from us at that point, so I couldn't exactly see you.
Got that Wonder Bread wrap on his other buggy. It's always kind of cool to see if you're a Talladega Nights fan. Ricky Bobby.
And here we go. Dan Carter's making his way around the curve.
All right, come on, Dan.
Running up Zach's landing like a boss.
Hello, Cheryl's
like
commentating. We should give her a microphone more often.
Well, it's a good time.
She said he's right over here by Zach's.
Yeah, fall.
Zach's fall. We're going to call this Zach's Cliff or something.
Yes. What's up, Tim Bacon? Some of the Bacons jumping in there. Paul Wolf just jumped in to watch us during side-by-side racing action. Again, you're watching Dan the Man Carter out there. He hit that mud full blast.
Oh, yeah. Look at the side of that buggy now.
A little muddy.
And here we go. Go.
Get up there.
All right, come on, Dan.
And he's out the top.
That's a 162.157. That puts him like 4th place, I think. 4th place.
Yep, Brandon Davis still in the lead with a 119. And then Justin Hoback with a 130.
Again, that's a smoking. That 119, he was absolutely flying through that rock section.
Brandon knows what he's doing out here.
And it is, again, we always say cameras never do it justice. That is a really, really rough rock section that they're kind of just pinballing through. And obviously a lot of guys, Timmy and a handful of them were out there walking the course, so they are looking at it. The stock guys are actually running the exact same course as our unlimited class. So it's a lot harder on a stock. Obviously, the unlimited class will be going a little faster, but it was neat to see guys looking at what lines to pick, and obviously some of these guys might have a little bit bigger tires, so how tires come into play there is kind of interesting. But it's it'll be interesting to see how some of the unlimited times compare to stock class. This is Cody Kaysen. Okay.
We have two Kaysens racing with us today. Cody in the stock class and Clay Kaysen in the cup class. They are from Fulton, Mississippi, I believe. They raced with us a little bit last season, and they are back for more now.
What's up, Tahoe?
What?
What's up?
Can't hear you. Oh, always.
Hey, I love our headsets. These are so awesome. We got these really cool headsets.
Cody has run this UTV stock class a couple of times last year.
I'm going to go under.
Speaking of Day of the Man, Carter, hop in the booth.
I got you something.
Man, that was violent.
We're gonna have this guy run, and then we're gonna do your interview as soon as he gets his run.
Hey, Scott, Daniel Heckley had a 163.172. All right, Cody Kaysen's going to wrap up stock class course number 1 for us.
And this footage here. This camera's getting ran by our buddy Nick Mott. Nick Mott is out there running that camera right on the corner, so he can kind of pan around and get our entire field shot. So huge shout out to Nick for helping us out today.
Cody out here in the RS1 today. You know what? We had a little bit of everything in this class today. We've got Brandon in the Can-Am. We've got Cody in the RS1. We had Justin in the
double cab
4-seater. Yeah. We had some full body razors.
Rocking our long bed.
There we go.
A little bit of everything out here in the UTV stock class today.
Again, the RS1 I think will do pretty well, being pretty nimble. Do the rock section. Is there a big advantage to having the RS1 there, you think, or no?
I think so, just because it's a little bit more nimble than a regular full body.
I say being a little less, tighter center of gravity maybe.
Right.
A little less weight possibly, so you might be a little lighter, kind of be able to pinball through better.
Right.
I think that the agility on this course specifically would make the difference today.
Yeah. How rough is that rock section?
It's like being in a controlled car wreck.
People right where he's at, people don't understand how hard you thrash through that.
Right, and the rocks all over this park are anywhere from the size of a football to the size of a Volkswagen Beetle.
And he's coming up.
What we really need is like some in-cab video footage, because you don't understand when you're just watching this video. It kind of looks like they're just, crawling through the rocks. But
having a good time.
When you're going through this kind of rock garden at as much speed as you can, I mean, it's violent.
Especially those
we wear Hans devices, full-face helmets, 5-point harnesses, the works, but still, it's violent.
You have to do a quick backup.
It is. And again, luckily we have good full containment seats. And I tell people, there's times I went home and been more sore from the drive to the park, the 8-hour drive to the park, than I am from rolling over at the park.
Right.
That was a smoking.
There we go.
Oh, and we have a new leader, Cody Kaysen, with a 117.498 in that RS1. That means Brandon Davis with a 119 as the second place time right now, and then Justin Hoback with a 130. After that, we've got Jay Stortz, Dan Carter, and then Daniel Heckley. That is our Rock Life Off-Road stock class, course 1. So, Dan, do you have anything else that you would like the people to know?
What's up, dog?
Right, it's just rough. I thought everybody's like, oh, you're going to Texas, it's rough out there. And I was like, how rough could Texas be? Because we've got AOP close to home, and it's like so much rocks. It's like nothing but rock garden. So you know, we got out here and looking at the course, and it's like, man, they were not lying.
Yeah.
Like Texas
like,
don't play.
Yeah, everything's bigger than Texas. Even the rock gardens there
Right.
are bigger than Texas.
Right.
Dan, since we're just kicking off the season, what have you been doing during your off season?
Well, we were trying to get as much seat time as possible, but unfortunately, we take off so much time during race season for work, then just work takes, you know, first shoe in when, you know, when the race season's over with. So we were trying to get some stuff caught up with work and just pulling a lot of weekends to, you know, at work. So it kind of got into our seat time. So have to make some sacrifices. Like I take off on Fridays to come to the races. So that makes me have to work some Saturdays that we're not racing. So, you know, it's kind of like juggling all the, you know, the hobbies there, but good thing I've got a good support staff and a family that tells me to go and enjoy it and have a good time. And, that's what we're doing.
I see your number one support staff.
Yeah, Jody, she's
over there.
I don't know. She's my manager, my handler, my assistant.
All of it.
She's everything. She's the total package.
Said, I'm his everything.
Boss.
Yeah, the boss. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But lucky to have her on board, and she's the backbone of the race series, and thankful for Clyde and the park and everybody putting on the events. So we're definitely having a good time. Just hope to show up a little bit more, get a little bit more podium time this year is what we're after.
I see you got a new hauler. You bought a new hauler halfway through last year.
Right. So, man, it got to where I was looking for a new pickup, and I started pricing, and everybody that I know that has experienced this, it's like, man, you pay $100,000 for a new truck, or you pay $90,000 for a used truck.
That's true.
So, you know, I was looking at pick Rock Life up again, so I was having to get a larger trailer. We're trying to get our foot in the door with this Venn class, so we need a little bit bigger trailer. So it made sense to just go ahead and upgrade to a semi, because I was looking at having to do new truck, new trailer, and I got into the semi for about half the money.
Thank you, Brandon.
So, you know, we converted it over and made some living quarters in the trailer, and that's our aluminum condo.
Yeah,
so
aluminum condo.
Yeah, I poked my head in there today. It looks like a nice setup.
But Jody has really made that place home, and you know,
does she have any plants in there?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It's officially a home. If it's got plants in it.
So we went to like Hobby Lobby and Walmart, which no plugs here, but if you guys want to step on board, we could probably use a little bit more plants for the race trailer. But
there's a real big cactus over there. You could take a little piece home.
So she made it home, took you know, Pinterest and took it off of Pinterest and put it in real life. So it turned out pretty good. So we're happy for that, and it's actually. I hate to say this, but it's probably nicer than our actual house inside that trailer.
I've seen some trailers here that are nicer than my house.
Right,
well,
so
I know you're spending enough time in it when y'all are out on the road making it to all these events. So we're glad to have you guys back out here this season. Also, if anybody wants one of these cool hats
Send it.
that you see Dan and Jody wearing, I know that Jody's got lots of cool ones in the trailer.
She does.
So
Jody, come find her at an event.
Jody started a little company called Threads to Die For. Mainly on Instagram, but she keeps me supplied with hats and you know, pretty cool swag.
I've got one of her hats along with me this weekend.
And Dan always has some of the freshest gear. His shirt, Dan Carter Racing shirt, has like a little guy on it that's awesome.
You guys know Bearcat with John Edwards. They call him Sicky Bearcat, but he just comes to me with all these cool designs, and him and I work together like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And then I know that once I kind of plant that idea into Bearcat, then he just lets this blossom into like a pretty cool 80s, 90s, what I'm into style shirt. So we're hoping to come out with a few more nice, cool shirts and hoodies again this year.
Job that you do on social media and just being creative and you know, presenting yourself and your race team well. So that's Dan Carter Racing that they can go to on Instagram. And where else can they find you?
Right. You can just about find us until you get sick of us. I mean, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, but we still like to have a good time, and we're still here for the fans. We just may present ourselves a little bit differently than we used to, because used to I had the mentality, let's just go hit this, put on a show, have a good time. But now we got addicted to the points chase, and we're like, all right, let's try to do a little bit better. But still, when we got there, and I still keep that in the back of my head when people are standing around and having a good time watching us guys.
And that's an opportunity to have. Again, myself, before I was a racer, I was a fan. Me and my brother one time loaded up his side-by-side and drove down, spent the night in the truck, and just got it the next day and rode around and watched it. And I was, we kind of call it an uber goober. I was just this guy, snot bubble in my nose, like, this is the greatest thing ever, just having a great time, loving life, just watching this TC guy.
He hasn't changed, guys.
Yeah,
he hasn't changed.
I haven't changed much. But
There's nothing wrong there and watch videos on YouTube and all these other guys, great media guys that present these videos. Come see it in real life. I mean, it is so cool to be standing beside Screaming Blue and that thing fired up, or Timmy's new Tyrant buggy. It's like, it's just unreal the horsepower these guys are pushing now.
That's right. And we are getting the go-ahead. We're going to kick off the UTV Cup class. So I think we've got Tim cameras. And y'all go check him out, Dan Carter Racing, on all the platforms.
Yes. Especially
he's got lots of fun content on there. They do Free Hat Fridays, I think, giveaways, Dan and then Bryant with Rock Life. So there's all kinds of fun stuff on there you guys can go get to. We got Jay Stewart's up here giving some info.
We got Mr. Timmy Cameron on the run for the UTV Cup Series that's sponsored by RCV.
All right, this is the RCV UTV Cup in Bridgeport, Texas. First race of the season. If you're just joining us, we are so glad to be able to welcome you guys to Hillside Live 2022. It's nice to have the off season, and we have all the holidays and stuff to spend time on over the winter. But it's fun to get back to it too.
Dan was just giving you guys a shout out, and TC is on course now. You can't miss him with that neon green poking out through the woods. Again, we're going to see how well he does in this rock section. It's a super violent rock section, so it's always interesting to see how some of the Unlimited Cup guys go.
Do you suppose Timmy has that color it is?
I wouldn't use it because I wouldn't want to be considered like a copycat. But
well, and just like nobody would steal your teal color, Matt.
That's what I'm saying.
That's your color.
It is. I was yellow and black. I was yellow with black, and then the Hornet buggy came along, so he was yellow and black, so I changed to teal and white with the new chassis, hyperactive chassis. So, pretty awesome. The rock section.
He's coming around the corner. Cheryl called it Zach's Landing now.
Yes, I like it.
We might get a new name every time somebody comes around the course. Either way, Zach made it memorable for us.
Zach's Falls, like Legend of the Falls. Zach's Falls works pretty well.
Zach is the Legend of the Falls.
It is. Ooh.
104.261 for Timmy.
If Timmy can hang on to it. Again, he set a 104. That was, I think 117 was the fastest we had. So about 13 seconds faster than our fastest stock class. Again, obviously that's a custom-built tube chassis vehicle versus a stock class. But Jay Storts, he was telling me he's going to come up here, and Jay Storts is going to break the beam for Wyatt Wilson, who couldn't make it. It was going to be Daniel Heck. He's going to race, and if he can still keep it together on, I think he said the second course, he'll race for Wyatt after he gets his second run in. He said, because I'd like to get him some points.
Sense.
And Wyatt's a great guy. I actually got to, for our charity rider this year, I got to ride around with him and his girlfriend, and we absolutely had a blast.
Like Superlift?
Yes. Had so much fun.
Last year.
They let me hijack the Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, boy.
And I said, this could get really scary because I have, like, some hardcore rock or some hardcore rap, and then I have, like, techno, and then I might be, like, a praise and worship song. So, like, we're kind of all over the place.
Musical whiplash.
It is. So I said, just bear with me. I'm not sure what's coming up next.
We will all find out together.
And bless their heart, they let me rock it the whole time we rode around, and I had so much fun. We talked a bunch about, they run Suzuki Samurais, which we run back home. Me and my brother, Nate Holt, run Suzuki Samurais for a while back in the day, and how they have bolted tires where they're from. And we talked a bunch about bolted tires now. Wes Keen was running bolted tires in the beginning. His OG Rat Rod Rock Bouncer had bolted tires, and how that kind of come in play and how well they work in the rocks versus dirt. And it was kind of neat. It was really cool. Like I said, we had a rode around with them, having a blast that day, and ended up doing quite a bit of riding. I know one group, we had a pretty good group there riding. TC's over here checking out his rig. Dan Carter's next to him.
Does Dan's front tire there look weird?
Yeah.
Is he the one that bent an A-arm? I thought he said Daniel Heckley.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe both of them.
Yeah. That was a super rocky course. I would not be.
It's rough out there.
Yes.
Next on the line, we have Clay Kaysen
Dan. Did you break Dan? Did he break? Did Dan break the beam for Cooper? Okay. Is this Clay Kaysen? Yes, it is.
Polaris Turbo Razor.
All right, Clay's brother Cody put down the fastest time in the stock class. So
And the clock is
let's
hot.
see
Here he
what
goes.
Clay can do right now in the RCV Cup class. Both brothers raced with us at least once last year, maybe.
Clay took the alternate route that is approved. You can choose either to go over the ledge or down the other side. Have a lot of drivers up here scratching their head on
You know that
line.
Clay probably doesn't want to let his brother Cody have put down a faster time than him in a stock vehicle.
Oh, if he has a wad that chassis last place, I would still be geeked for the day. He has raced with us before, and trust me, I always beat him for that pure fact. Oh, dude, yeah.
All right, Clay's looking good so far. All right, he made the corner around Zach's landing. Managed to bypass most of that giant mud puddle.
Yeah, and he's hauling.
That was a smoking fast time.
See what his time is?
96180. All right, he definitely beat his brother. So.
Yep, he was again flying.
96180. Holy smokes, that was a fast time.
That was
Timmy
hauling.
laid down a 104.
Ashley Garner tuning in.
Wyatt Wilson. Wyatt, who is out of Kentucky, was unable to make it this weekend. Therefore, Jay's
Adam Coots tuning in.
some points for him.
All right, we've got Jay Storts, who's going to just break the beam for Wyatt Wilson, and then I believe that Dan Carter did the same thing for Cooper Bentley.
Yes.
Just to get those guys a few points to start off the season with. This race in Texas is often a little bit smaller driver's list than many of our other races. We're at, and it's just a lot to try and turn around and make, a 13 maybe plus hour drive that it would be out here. So we are glad to be back out here with everybody, and I know we'll have the full.
I say it is. I know a lot of the production crew,
the full crowd out here
because of doing stuff with them in America. I know we're busy for the next 4 or 5 weekends in a row.
So with Clay Kaysen just putting down a 96 over Timmy's 104. I wonder if Clay plans on racing this season with us. I think that he might be signed up as a season driver. We need to get the Kaysen brothers up here and talk with them a little bit. But
and they seem like really good guys,
yeah,
too.
I see Cody right back there. I don't know what happened to Clay.
Tyler will be trying to not
putting a little pressure on Timmy though today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's back here. He's back here. He has a good view. He's watching the course. He's seeing what's going on. Again, I think a lot of times when you have two longer courses, you want to get out there, get some points on the board, make a good, smooth, consistent run. Don't make any mistakes, and then maybe for your second pass, you can go out there and really hammer down and maybe set the world on fire. Again, right there, Timmy wanted to get out there, get some points on the board. I think first this morning, and we'll go from there. So.
Janet wants to know, does Zach get a hill named after him?
Appropriate, I think. Legends of the Falls, Zach's Falls.
Colton, yeah, we got we have a special co-host up here today.
Fun or what do you think?
You having fun?
I don't know. Everywhere felt pretty slow.
Uncle Colton's talking about you.
I agree.
Can you wave at him?
I think the two wheels down there.
Can you wave?
He thinks I'm a crazy person now. You should have seen the look he just gave me when I said Uncle Colton.
They saw it. Oh.
That's funny. Oh, there's Haley. Now Mommy's checking in. Say hi, Mommy. Here. Say hi, Mommy.
He's like, I'm good.
He's like, this girl is crazy. Mommy is not here.
All right.
So we had Jay break the line.
Yep.
For Wyatt. Now we've got Tyler
right,
Bradley
here,
here ready to run the course.
And
the clock is hot.
Here we go.
And he's off.
Jack Porter out there running the starting line, as he often does. Shout out to him. And you know what? I'm excited to see Jack.
I know.
In a new to him bouncer tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was
being kind of honest. I couldn't race because it's not ready, and so they said, you know what, we'll fix that problem. And I think he is going to set a smoking
I think it's going to be fun to watch. And at this point, since we haven't said it yet, I say we just wait and let people find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
I concur. I was just getting ready to say, but you know what? We'll, I'm sure there's a few
somebody out there. Yeah, somebody knows already.
I'm sure some of the people that watched the Outlaw race saw him standing in his race suit. So we'll tease it for tomorrow.
Drivers and buggies we're not used to seeing.
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and then for the rest of the season too.
I've seen the Ford play. I always make sure to pronounce that very clearly. We have Ford. He's like, he's like, that's going to be the name. So.
And Tyler Bradley out there laying down a good time right now. Man, we've had several of the drivers come up here and talk to us. If you missed it, you're just joining in. You might be looking at this course and thinking, well, man, they're not going as fast as we're used to seeing, during these buggies ripping around during a race. But this rock garden out here that we're calling it in Bridgeport is a rough and violent ride, and all the drivers have been saying that. So,
yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's like I said, they got rocks the size from basketball up to washing machine size. So it's about 30, 40 feet wide, about a quarter mile long.
He went straight through the middle of that giant mud puddle. He didn't even try and bypass that sucker. Coming up to the finish. What's he got hanging off the front?
Which is a very respectable time.
Colton says the audio's cutting in and out for him. Is anybody else having that same issue?
Hopefully it's good. Like I said, our headsets are hardwired, so hopefully at least our audio should be coming in.
We've got Andy Chapman saying same for him.
Driving a Can-Am full body, he pulls double duty today, running the UTV stock class and also the UTV Cup class.
All right, Brandon Davis is on the line. Brandon had the second fastest time for the Rock Life stock class.
I love that Cheryl is doing the hot class. He's doing the Unlimited Cup Series.
I'm telling you, we need to give Cheryl a microphone more often. She's a pro.
She pretty much knows everything that anybody else knows. So I think she would be great for that.
When you show up with your very own spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Just to keep track of all the drivers and classes and do. Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, can you fix that for us real quick?
We're going to get our guy on it.
If you can just go up there. You know what you need? A little spray can of air on top of the satellite dish.
Take it out and blow on it and put it back in. Does it work like a Super Nintendo?
Yes. We've got
a whole new system, new satellite.
New software.
Lots of new stuff, which means you guys can guess. Lots of little bugs to work out.
But it's going to be awesome. I promise you.
It's worth it, yeah.
Being able to watch this, beep, and just like powers down.
Matt is geeking out about our new satellite.
Well, it saves us hours on top of the trailer, setting up and tearing down. So the thing is also so great about it is at the end of the race, instead of spending hours on top of a hot trailer tearing down, now we just hit a button. Boop. Thanks. See ya. It's so nice.
It's good. It's
body.
Big body.
Need a big body.
So Brandon putting that Can-Am to work in both the stock class and the Cup class. Speaking of Can-Am, you said Paul was watching earlier, but I never saw him. He never showed up on mine.
Oh, I'm sure he's got some tricks up his
The
sleeve.
world needs to know. I know he's coming off a busy time at King the Hammers. Oh, no.
If he backs up, I don't think it counts. Normally hitting a flag is a 30-second penalty.
No, it's a 30-second penalty.
But if you back up, I don't think it counts. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Brandon, I think he ran the timer over, so we'll have to see if he... I don't know what Clyde's doing.
I hear Clyde asking for a timer, so he may have slightly skimmed the timer.
No steering? Oh.
So,
Anyway, 157.640.
Was that with the penalty?
Knock the timers and the flag down.
All right, so 157.640 for Brandon Davis. He did get the 30-second penalty
Should have.
for taking out that flag.
I do believe.
And our timer.
okay.
Colton said he's on the couch now. Deborah, Tyler Bradley had a time of 139.447.
Oh, Chad Molitor's watching with us.
What? How come you can see all? Hey, Pops.
Shout out to my Chad Molitor. We're super close.
Seconds. So currently we have Clay Kaysen in first.
You gonna get down, bud?
In second.
All right, so Clay Kaysen has our fastest time right now with a 96. Then Tim Cameron with a 104. Tyler Bradley with a 1. He had a little contact with the flag there at the finish line. Apparently he lost steering.
Yeah, just a little steering. All right, and we will back to you right after these messages.
I just want to do a little.
Visions are better at the top. More throttle than brake, more balls than brains. If you're gonna win, you're gonna need these. Life is better top of the story. Your girlfriend likes it when I bounce her. Grab yourself some new merch today.
When you're serious about installing the highest quality drivetrain products designed for high horsepower and bigger tires, there's only one choice. In the industry, built to perform, built to last. Yukon Gear and Axle.
And we're back here at Bridgeport Off-Road Park in Bridgeport, Texas. And I love this. This is kind of a fun fact about this off-road park. It's actually owned by the town, which is great. Can you imagine going to your city manager and be like, hey,
Yeah, this is.
we want to have vehicle violence hosted by our city. So like, and
Sure,
only,
that's exactly how they presented it.
only in Texas are like, sure, let's do that. That would be awesome.
It's the Northwest OHV Park at
And the steering
Endeavor
buoy has been found.
Bridgeport.
Thanks,
Dang it.
guys.
What, there's a lot of words. Hang on. The words Endeavor and Adventure are in there. So Adventure Park.
I like it.
Yeah.
They have a cute little sign. It's a covered wagon that says "Welcome to Bridgeport," and it has the name of the people who founded the town on the little sign.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's super cute. I was watching as I was driving in. I called Clyde. It was getting right around supper time. I said, "Hey, what are we doing for supper?" He said, "Come here. We'll figure it out." I said, "Okay." We went Mexican last night.
That's a good question for tonight.
It is. We're going to a steak place tonight.
Surprise.
Yes, he said, "Clyde, you cannot get steak because I want to get steak tomorrow." So we said, "All right, we'll go to Mexican or there's some like a 50s joint." I said, "I want Mexicans." We went Mexican. It was fire. It was amazing.
And leaves him out. That's
yeah.
rude to know that.
Cannot go wrong.
Those are the choices here when you
with
travel
Mexican.
with Clyde.
It is amazing. Chips and salsa.
All right, Clint Garrison has been waiting patiently on the starting line. He is going to wrap up course 1 for the RCV Cup class. And banner set back up after
Polaris Racer.
Brandon's finale there at the finish line.
Clint's decided to
weekend. I've been seeing your pictures. I know y'all been doing a lot of traveling, some fun stuff.
with a bounce, landed back on his wheels, ready to go.
Good to see Clint back out here for the 2022 season.
Was that it?
4.2, I think it was 4.27. I don't know.
That,
Somebody out there knows.
Whatever, it's always wrong, whatever I say.
So it's 4.27 then.
Yeah. I'm always like, oh, it's 4.29. I guess wrong. I'm like, 4.27. It doesn't matter what I say, it's wrong.
A very capable buggy. Clint's been racing it. He raced it all last season. And then, of course, we saw Travis Skelton in it multiple seasons. And glad to see him back out here at Bridge to come around the bottom of... Oh, there he goes. He almost missed his turn there, it looked like. But here he comes around the bottom of Zach's Landing. If you wonder why we're calling it that, we'll tell you the story again in a minute.
So
I don't see any of that.
Get her done. Out
All
the
right,
top.
Clint, what's the time?
Ooh.
1:20.534. That's a third place time right now for course 1 for the RCV Cup class. Clay Kaysen with the fastest with a 96, then Tim Cameron with a 104, and now Clint Garrison with a 120, then Tyler Bradley with a 139, and Brandon Davis with a 157. Brandon, of course, did have the 30-second flag penalty. And then we had the beam just broken for Cooper Bentley and Wyatt Wilson to get them some points.
Which gets them 5 points. It's 5 points if you break the find that, though. Clyde said we're looking for like that attaboy try, that grandma attaboy try.
You got to go more than like 10 feet off the starting line and give it an actual
because
try.
some guys can only break the beam. If you have no rear axle, you're just going to break the beam. You're not really attempting the course.
Just to get whatever points you can. And, of course, that was Cooper and Wyatt aren't here, but they had Jay and Dan Carter doing that for them today. So that is course 1 for the RCV Cup class, and we just have, we're going to the Venn class, and then we're going to take a 20-minute break. Haha. Okay, so we got the new, for this season, the Venn class. Yes. Sorry that I almost forgot them there. They're not on this page. That's the problem. They're on this page.
I went and talked to them. I got to talk to some of them this morning while we were waiting for we couldn't get in until 9 o'clock this morning officially.
What is his last name? And Don Curtis, correct?
Yeah, and James is the one I got to hang out with this morning, him and his dad and his mom, and got to hang out with them for a while. So that was a pretty good time. Or I'm sorry, Dawn was the one I got to hang out with this morning.
So the purpose of the Venn class, and I know Clyde is excited for it, and we've had a couple other people say they're looking forward to watching it too. This is just for the everyman that wants to come out here and just have some fun. You might not have a bouncer, or you might not be interested in having one, but you want to come out and bring whatever you do have.
Yes.
And I think
say coils in, like say a Jeep Cherokee. I'll use that because I have a couple Jeep Cherokees. A Jeep Cherokee has a coil spring suspension in the front and a leaf spring suspension in the rear. If you want to race it, you can modify those. You just still have to have a coil in front and a leaf in the rear. So if you couldn't go to like a Jeep Grand Cherokee has a coil in front, coil in rear. So you couldn't upgrade a coil in front and rear. Where 97 they went to coil front and rear. So you'll see a lot of guys who will race a newer TJ versus the YJ, or you'll see some guys who run the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Not the case today. We have 2 leaf spring front and leaf spring rear vehicles racing today, which I am super pumped about. Our full body's on the line. Again, he was our he was our early entry. He actually pre-entered.
So this is Don Curtis.
Yes. And
Don, our very first
MC K35, basically Chevy 1-ton truck. They heard about this Venn class, and he said, we were so geeked, we're so excited. He said, me and my mom and dad and my brother.
Did he use the word geeked?
Oh, he's super pumped. He said, we have worked, his mother actually came up and announced this, we have worked every single weekend, and sometimes through the week since Thanksgiving. He said, I have to give a huge shout out to my brother Jack. He's a professional welder and came and helped weld all the brackets together and some of the frame sliders and a bunch of stuff that we welded up. He said literally he was welded on this nonstop.
He made it a whole family project.
It was. And you could tell they're so happy to be here. And it's kind of funny because I said, we're the same way. We're just super happy to be here sometimes out here racing, having a good time. You can run up to a 38-inch DOT-approved tire in this class, and he has a 38-inch Super Swamper DOT tire. They're running a Hummer. Whoa, that is a big drop up there.
So
it's just a little more violent with a big truck. And again, this is a DOT
and
tire.
some leaf springs.
Yes.
On this course, which we just had our UTV drivers telling us how rough it was.
So he's running a turbo 400 transmission. He's running a 205 transfer case. Dana 60 that's welded in the front, which is a good old boy.
Water. We like water.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a case of welding rod, and that's how you make your locker. So, and then he's running a 14 bolt in the rear with a Detroit stock shafts front and rear. He said, I'll probably run them until I break them, and then we'll worry about upgrading. Again, we're on a 38-inch DOT tire. You're probably not too big of an issue breaking there. Said, hey, I'm just running some stuff. He said, so myself, so it might break. So be back, you know. It's a Cletus McFarland shirt. And he said, I just thought, hey, we built this ourselves. Just be careful, you know. Like, so super happy to be out here having a good time. They're in Osage City, Kansas. He said it's 1 hour south of Topeka for the guys that are near Kansas. Again, like I said, that's Dawn Curtis driving it in barn find because they kind of found it in a barn. And he's still the rock bouncer. But she didn't say anything about stock class. So she was here and she said, I told them they're not building. So that's why they have this. They kind of drug it out of a barn, started working on it, and just came out, had a good time. Again, I love the fact this is a full-body, full-size, 1-ton pickup truck. This isn't some, high-speed, nimble, designed for desert racing or designed for rocks. His leaf springs. I kind of walked out with him, and we looked at some courses this morning about what lines to pick. I kind of gave him my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. And, again, running a smaller tire than the big bouncers, trying to find it. Again, you can see that truck just thrashing right now with those leaf springs.
Well, and I know a lot of people are excited for this class. It's something a little different, a lot different than what we are normal. Try out some racing and come in and be part of the series. And I know, Matt, I heard you saying that you were hoping to be part of it this season. And Dan Carter.
And I didn't even know that until he just announced it.
Yeah. So and Clyde said he was most excited for this class out of everything that we're doing for this season.
And again, we do have some safety restrictions as far as like roll cages go, safety harnesses. Obviously, we want to have a minimum for safety gear. Now, if you're bringing it out to a local event and it's your first time racing with us, we will work with you a little bit. Like I said, our next truck up, we're going to kind of work with some of the drivers to grow into the stock class. Looks like he has a flat on the left driver's side, which will hurt him a little bit coming down the hills. But looks like he's still going to get a finish out of it, so that's pretty awesome. Hitting the mud, driving right through it.
Puddle.
Again, he said he didn't want to tear it up too much because he wants to.
For Texas,
it is. It is super awesome. Almost out the finish line. Hearing that 450.
So close.
Hearing that 454 roar.
Nice.
That is
officially
awesome.
317.296.
At a time of 317.296. That's good.
All right, awesome to see these guys out here trying something new this weekend. I hope that we're going to see even more and watch the class grow. I really do think we will see it grow a lot this season, just based on the interest that I've heard from it today alone.
And I've said this is probably going to be my most favorite class to watch, because when you see a guy out in a full body 454 truck or like a Toyota truck or a
Clyde just said, I don't know about y'all, but that's fun to watch.
Some guy in a clapped out Cherokee come out and just send it full send. I know anybody who's ever seen some of the stuff from Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park with James Cantrell out there just absolutely sending it on that track, just having a good time. James Barfoot.
This is Jamie Barfoot. Yeah, speaking of joining the Venn class this year. All right, this is Jamie Barfoot, and he said he is driving Lemon Drop.
Lemon Drop.
Yep, the name. You can't quite tell with the sun shining off her there, but it's just bright yellow. You'll see.
Very bright yellow.
You'll see soon. So Jamie and his son live about 5 hours away, and they have followed the series and seen it online before, but haven't come out in person. But they're like, you know what, this is as close as it's going to get to us out here in Texas. So they came out for the weekend to
they're from Amarillo, Texas.
Try out the Venn class, and then they're going to stay and watch everything tomorrow too and make a weekend.
And he said, "I'm just so excited to be here and have a good time."
There's Lemon Drop. Look at that nice yellow paint job right there.
Again, most Toyota guys are very familiar with the 22R or the 22RE. He's running a 1970.
See those tanks in the back.
All my West Coast rock crawler guys are all cheering him on. Running propane. doing some rock crawling. He's running, again, very popular 5-speed Toyota. He's running a 4-speed manual transmission. And naturally, in Toyota fashion, he's running dual transfer cases. Stock axles and stock leaf springs. Front and rear in the Toyota.
Back to that, man. The hills, and then to do it all with leaf springs, and then you're in there with a manual transmission too.
And twin transfer cases. So now you have 2 transfer cases to manage as well. So
he's busy.
He is a very busy guy. He's running 35-inch pit bull tires. Again, those are a 35-inch DOT. I know for Ultra 4, the maximum you can run on the 4600 class or like a stock VIN class is. He's moved the cab back about 5 inches, so they've done some moving around the truck. They've raised some cab up a little bit. They've shortened it. They run a Marlin crawler steering system, which again, as long as you're running a manual steering system on the stock class, you can do. I think stock class is going to be one of our favorite classes this year. He also would love to give a shout out to his loving wife, Desiree. He's happy she's at home and supporting him.
And it looks like he's trying to get squared up to come down this ledge. You got an idea of how steeply trying to get a look down there and see what he's coming into here. You can see his back tire picking up a little bit. Oh, go for it, Jamie!
Go! Oh man, that's kind of what. When in doubt, throttle out, and you just hold hope it comes back down.
Well, yeah, when you're going, he got a little tense there.
Yes.
Way to stay with it.
This VIN class, I have a feeling, is going to be our funnest class.
So who out there watching right now online thinks that they are after watching this, are going to try and jump in on the new VIN class at some point this season, or know somebody else?
Yes, and again, find a buddy. Each of you chip in a couple $100. Go to Facebook Marketplace, find a Cherokee or something, come out and have a ball. We could even do headsets with like an in-car.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. No, I said you're right. Aboard. I can hear it now. We're taking on water. like it would be so much fun.
Apparently we're going out in the ocean now, too.
Yeah, it's... yeah. They in-car.
That's like, how long is this race going
popcorn.
to take? Do I need to bring snacks?
Like, we can get a roll bar in here? Chris said, me and Sparky are watching in Science Hill, Kentucky. John May tuning in. I say it's a good time. Like I said, I think a VIN class is going to be one of our funnest classes. You guys can head to the Southern Rock Racing Series Facebook page and pull up all of our details as far as when and where we'll be racing this season. You can also go to the Southern Rock Racing.
Have profiles on there if you want to know a little bit more about them and their vehicles. And then again, like Matt said, our calendar of events for the season is on there.
And again, we hit half a dozen states on this half of the U.S., so if you guys want to come out and do some racing with us, check it out. Pick out a date and a location that's closest for you. Come on out and have some fun.
Merrill Hutchinson says that he hopes to join in.
It's super fun. It's like somebody said, it's like a tough truck challenge type deal. The course is so brutal, and the trucks are very limited. Again, it's like a 4600 class for Ultra 4, kind of seeing how there's a lot of limitations on it, and you want to give it that good college try, and this is, again, right there. He's going through that rock section that's pretty brutal. Having that twin stick will hopefully help him.
Well, one thing I like about having this class, Matt, as part of this, to feel the air vibrating with horsepower when they're running, and even to watch the UTVs zipping around. But this is just a whole nother pace out here, and it's fun to change it up and have a little something for everybody and be able to bring in drivers that otherwise weren't going to be out here racing, and be able to open up the series to a whole new class of drivers.
And I feel like this kind of is special to my heart, because I feel like this is where we all started. Nobody started out with some full 1600 horsepower rock bouncer. You started out with a piece of crap Toyota or a junky some clapped out JK or some clapped out Cherokee. I know I had a couple older Cherokees that I used to wheel. I had an early Bronco that I used to drive that would die or break down almost every time I went out racing it. We would never. My brother had 2 broken legs once, and he had to basically stay in the back seat of it back in the day. So it's always great. This is where we all started. So it kind of hey, I remember. And everybody knows somebody who started on a Jeep or a CJ or a Toyota or a full-size Bronco even,
Look at Jamie getting in it there.
Got Chip.
Coming up this hill towards the finish line.
Chip McLaughlin over there.
I see.
Part of the Rufus race.
Finish line.
There we go. See what kind of time we got? Oh, no. Yeah, finish line. Can I get to the finish line?
Oh, no. So close. Come on.
And he is out.
There it is.
There we go.
How about the handstand on the steps?
That is awesome.
415.176. He had to get a little help from the crowd there and get pointed into the right finish line to cross the beam there at the end.
We had a 317, and I'm missing this at all. Hop on there, check out the rules. Again, we're going to try to be lenient on some of the stuff as much as possible. That way we can get some guys out and have some fun with it. I know that like Ultra 4, if you don't necessarily meet all their specs right away, a lot of times they'll say, hey, they'll give you a list of fix this by the next race.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work with guys.
Speaking of that, and then having Justin over here. Justin helps with safety and starting line, and is a big help with all kinds of stuff here at the races. Justin Hoback, and he introduced for this season a safety checklist that all the drivers have to sign to the safety aspects here of the races. It's all stuff that everyone's always been required to have anyway, but now it's printed up, it's in black and white, it's on a piece of paper in front of them that they are going to have to sign. So there's no confusion, there's no question, and everyone is going to have to say, yes, I have these things that are required of me.
And the fire suppression system, we talked earlier, adapted that into the race rig. I know there's a couple of companies out there, Southern Rock Racing Series, we had Fire Aid come out, and they did a demo, which was super awesome to watch and kind of see, again, he says this isn't necessarily going to put the fire out, but it'll give you 30 to 45 seconds extra
but it might save your life,
to get out of the car, which, 15 seconds is, a night and day difference when you're trying to get your belts off and trying to climb out of the car. So I know a lot of guys have adapted that, and I know Ultra 4 has also started working on some of that. Get out of the car is crucial. I know there's some other racing series that are rock bouncing styles that have also went to the early adaptation of trying to have that. And again, that's, like I said, safety. That's just a safety thing. I mean, we all like to come out and have a good time, but everybody wants to go home safe too. So
right, and it's also about keeping the spectators safe too. Like with RII boxes, the remote shut off for the buggies. That's all. It's required. It's been required for years. And that's for driver safety, but also for spectator
mainly
safety.
Spectator safety. So. Really, I'll say a lot of the drivers. I mean, we have a full containment seat, Hans device, 5-way harness. We have nice SFI rated fire suits and helmets. So for us, it is important to have the RA, but it's way more important for the crowd that doesn't have that stuff protecting. Again, how we position our buggies, a lot of that goes into play as far as course design and where we're going to put our fans. We want you guys to be as close to the action as possible, but at the same time, we got to keep you safe. So
well, and again, none of this is new. It's all the same requirements that we've had for years. But shout out to Justin for just taking it another step further. And not only is it in the driver's hands to be responsible, but now it's literally written up black and white on a signed sheet of paper, so there's no confusion anywhere. So I think that's just a great thing to add in and have an extra layer to our safety requirements out here, because this is an extreme sport and stuff can happen. We've all seen that before. Zach fell off a cliff this morning, and who would have thought?
Which is not,
He's okay, by the way.
Yes, he's fine.
If you missed it earlier, we started a little late because
got a little scrape.
Zach tried to fly off a 20-some foot ledge
he was
and landed on his head.
Yeah, telling some jokes down there, but he goes, I just kept falling. I just kept, how long is this fall? I'm like, because it's like, 20-some feet. Zach falls. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Bryant says Rock Life will have some SFI gloves and suits in the trailer starting at Windrock as well.
Smart.
So if you want to gear up for the season, you're looking at getting started, getting into it, or you want to just refresh the gear that you have, go look for the Rock Life trailer at Windrock. And I'm assuming in other events this year, and y'all can check that out. Clyde, are we shutting down? All right, we have finished course 1 for all 3 of the classes we're running today. We're going to take a brief break, 20-30 minutes, and we'll come back and do round 2 for all of those classes.
We'll see you guys shortly.